Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second game of the day. This time we are gonna witness East Block taking on Jetset LUV for the fifth place matchup in this tournament. I'm Dmitry Doroshenko calling on this game. Now we are getting to the placement, of course, stage of the day. Yes, East Block gonna take on Jetset. Iceni and Box are gonna be negotiating the 7th place, while Moon Cup is going to take on DFD Shout for the 3rd place, and slightly later in the day, with a bit of a time delay, we're gonna have Yaka and Jinx for playing for the 1st place. So yeah, exciting games, exciting matchups, but we are here before the final, so maybe this will be even more exciting for the final, or maybe you can watch this game and then go to the half of the finals. Yeah, you can obviously find the best way for yourself and figure out your day by yourself, but yeah, it's gonna be, this day is going to be full of exciting elements, just like the previous 2 days. It's been really nice and interesting to watch it. It's been really cool to see that the games were not affected at all by bad weather. Weather, as you can see on your screens, is beautiful. It's plus 20 in Leuven. I think it's going to be up to plus 26 today. Just a little bit cloudy, no rain, no thunderstorms, which of course makes it almost ideal conditions to play Ultimate. We do hear, you do hear, well, we do hear a bit of a wind in on the fields. So maybe the flight of disc is just a little bit affected, but just a tiny bit, just to make it more interesting, more exciting for everyone to watch. First point is underway. I'm pretty sure that East Block is in their blue and Jetset is in the red. Which means East Block is going to start us off. It's the first point of the game. So far, moving in the handler space. Going back. Still finding some short passes. Good movement, considering the zone defense that was put by Jetset. Interesting choice, but a good choice nonetheless, I think. I think that is stifling the offense back and making them throw things like that. Yes, and this is how the turnovers are often generated. And yes, Jetset now. First point, opportunity for a break. In the first point is something that you would always want. Disc now on the far sideline. It's back and nice zipper into the middle of the zone and a nice pop pass into the end zone for the first score. First score, first break for Jetset. Charlotte Bruns to Anna de Bain for that break. Always curious to have a look at the possible outcomes of the games and to use the matchup tool on the ranking system of the Ultimate Federation, of the European Ultimate Federation. You can do that yourself as well. Just go to ranking.ultimatefederation.eu and just punch in a couple of names of the teams and to see the possible outcome of that. I'm not sure. Yeah, East Block unfortunately have no ranked games, so I can't actually check what does the algorithm is going to tell me, what it's going to spit out for me. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in that particular game. But so far, East Block, once again, needing to move with very short passes, move it around. Plenty of time, plenty of passes there. Sure that they have practiced that a lot of time. Just now with Hodachoa. Goes back to Zitoa, back to Hodachoa. Maybe a bit of a travel, but not really cold. All good. Now moved in the back and another throwaway. Short pass, maybe not enough speed on that disc, and that disc has dropped on the ground. It's going to be picked up once again by Jetset. Are they going to get 2 breaks in a row to open up the game? Long shot, looks good. Receiver is under it, and that is signaled in very quickly. So that is 2 breaks in a row to get us started. Silke de la Fotrie to Lore van Hemmelrijk for that score. Unfortunately for East Block, they are already looking at a 2-point deficit and a three breaks deficit. Looks like the zone is functioning for Jetset. They are setting it up again. Bit of an arrowhead. And East Block still looking to get out of there, but needing to go backwards. Still finding some open players. I mean, the purpose of the zone is not always to get to defenses, but rather try to bait a bit of a passes like that, and that's exactly what happens for the 3rd time already. Just a bit of a miscommunication, disc too close to the defender. Awkward situation for the reception, awkward situation for a throw, and yeah, in the end, it is taken once again by Jetset, who are moving once again quickly as East Block are not able to set up a different defense from person-to-person defense, and that throw was taken by Hrušáková, I think. And there is another opportunity for East Block to open up the score. Oh, 68 I think that was the defense, but unfortunately... apologies, that's Dominika Kurzova. Now disc is on the doorstep of the point. Are they? Yes, a quick transition to person defense. Still not really finding any spaces, and pick was called very close to the end zone. And we are back in play, and this time his block finally coming with a point, the first point to themselves with the game. Took them a while, but they are still good for it. Yeah, not an easy thing to get started sometimes, but they did it pretty well and punched in that first point, but they are finding themselves 2 breaks down. Score is now 2-1. Jetset, finally, we're gonna have a look at their that we haven't seen in this game just yet. Interesting that East Block are deciding to come out with person-to-person defense. Not really a zone, that was the choice of Jetset yet, but that defensive strategy still was pretty good for them. I think actually Jetset could have gotten this disc. I think both of the teammates decided to stop going for this disc. I think either of them could have actually turned into it and tried to get a reception, but unfortunately for East Block, the generated turnover did not come to fruition, and they there was an unfortunate drop in that point, and in the end it was a throwaway. It was a throwaway, and after which Jetset managed to pick it up and work it into the end zone very quickly, as they had a very short field to work with, and Silke to Lafortier once again to Laura van Hemmelrijk. So basically a repeat of the previous point, with the only difference that the previous point was a break and this point was a hold. Looks like these two ladies, number 10 and number 11, are playing both lines, or maybe they were just switching and helping their teammates to play with. Disc moving in the back, the field. Now on the attacking side, they're getting close. Jetset once again still staying in their zone formation, trying to generate a turnover from them. Mashkova with the disc, still counts getting high. finally finds an open player on her team. Quick transition to person defense, the defender side. Hochloa finally finds Mysloviakova, and she punches it into the end zone for another score, another offensive hold. East Block finally finding their feet in this game. Mysloviakova to Tlusta for that score. So the score is now 2-3. As we are getting underway, 15 minutes into this game. I can tell you a little bit more about the road to the match for the 5th place of both of these teams. East Block had a pretty good actually start of this tournament. They did win against BFD Shout 15-13, and BFD is going to play for the 3rd place, I think, against Moon Cup. They are playing right now, actually, on a parallel stream. Then they won against Jetset LUV, so it is actually a rematch of the group stage game. And it's sometimes we say that it's hard to win twice against the same team, and it does look like they are struggling a little bit and finding themselves in an early deficit at the moment. To East Block, maybe Jetset did their homework from Friday, and now figuring out how to play against this East Block side. And East Block lost to Moon Cup eventually, so 15-8. Then quarterfinals, East Block lost to Yaka, once again 15-8, and won against Iceni to find themselves into this 5th place matchup, where we see Jetset punching in another point. 2-4, Laura van Hemelrijk, this time on the assisting end to Floor van Dam for that score. Very quick point so far. I think there was one point that was approximately 4 minutes. Took 4 minutes. The rest of the points are only taking about 2 minutes. So very quick and dynamic game, which of course shows the elite level of this teams. They know how to play fast, they know how to play quick, and they know how to do it very efficiently. Right, so yes, that was the East Block's trip into this 5th place matchup. Jetset. Ooh, wow, also a very interesting way to get here. Lost to Moon Cup in the Universe Point in their first match. Then lost to East Block, as I've mentioned already. It is a rematch from the pool play. Then lost to BFD Shout 15-2. Oof. It was probably very not a pleasant match. East Block in this game though finally found the way through the cup and are now knocking on the doorstep of another point. But looks to be stifled. The stall count was pretty high, but finally finds a channel, has a receiver back, but now, yeah, finally takes that option, goes backwards again. No real options upfield. Goes sideways. Ooh, athletic grab, difficult catch. Moves it around, needs to find something, and unfortunately that disc finds grass and is going to be picked up by the Jetset player for another opportunity for a break. So Jetset taking early lead in this game. Probably want to go for a bit of a redemption after their first encounter. And yeah, so Yep, and they are doing that quite well. This is the perfect start for Jetset for a rematch and to try to get a different result out of the East Block, side. Janne van Ecke to Ella Kromeke for that score. So the score is now 2-5 in favor of Jetset. Jetset have significantly shorter roster than East Block. I think about 6 players. They have about 6 players less than the East Block side. Maybe that is also a factor. Maybe they've learned how to play together a little bit better. These little connections are, yeah, are being connected a little bit better. So Jetset, after the pool stages, where they've lost 2 games and where they lost all of their games, went on to the quarterfinals against Jinx Midnight, who are going to be playing the finals and playing for the first place, so a very difficult quarterfinal for them. Lost at 14-9, a respectable score, I would say, against a powerhouse like Jinx. Then won against Box, the Austrian team, and got themselves into this match against East Block. Once again, Jetset are coming out with that zone and the wall that they're setting up against East Block. East Block surveying options. Finally finds the reset, and then now they're getting moving a lot faster. Still having a couple players behind the disc. There is an open pass to go back, but that's a little bit too late now. Kurzawa is now closed. No, still getting open, so Kurzawa gets the disc. Surveying options, but she's now closed, and that stall count was pretty high, so the only thing that she could do is just to throw it into the end zone and huck and hope, so to say. And yeah, huck she did. I'm sure she did hope, but that hope did not bring any fruits, and that disc was knocked away by the defender. And now Jetset going the other way. I think that disc left the playing field quite early. Yes, I think number 12 there, Leanne Desmet, is signaling where this disc came out of bounds approximately. So this is where East Block are going to pick up to try to start their offense once again. Shvetsova. Now Haveltsova. No, sorry, that's Kurzova. And Shashkova now with the disc. Hadova finds her teammate. Still mostly handlers moving this disc around. Shashkova once again with the disc. Now finding a really good gainer. Close to the attacking end zone. Kurzova. Faking a lot. Finally finds Shashkova. I think it was a bit of an injury is signaled. I think number, is that 74? Yes, Hrushakova is gonna get off the field, and Jetset will also take one sub there. Number 83 is also walking off the field, Flor van Dam, already a point scorer in this match. Gonna take a sub. East Block, we're back underway. Ooh, difficult grab for Shashkova, but she's coming good with it. She's still looking for options. Stall count is mounting, probably 6 or 7. Finally finds a break, throw, and two receivers there with virtually no defense for a score. So Hadava to Tlusta for that score. Yes. However, difficult for East Block. They're finding themselves 3 breaks down in this game in the early stages. We're only approximately 24 minutes of game time into this game. Still plenty of time, of course, to play. Uh, approximately 55 minutes or so. We might have a bit of a timeout on the field. Nope, apologies, no timeout. Just some players walking off the field. And I think there was a lot of contact under that disc, and yeah, I think there was a bit of a contact with the face of the player, which is not something that you ever want to see. Unsurprisingly, we see that the Jetset player is walking off the field, holding her face a little bit. Yeah, I think there was a bit of a disc to face to shoulder kind of situation, but East Block are gonna stay with that disc and look at the possibility of a first break. Now they are almost knocking on the doorstep of their first break. Janska finds Hochloa. Hochloa surveying her options, stall count rising, needs to just get something off, and yes, literally gets something off. Unfortunately, that disc was uncatchable for anyone, and unfortunately not for her teammates as well. So Jetset now have an opportunity to go back and try to score a hold, a dirty hold, but still a hold nonetheless, and they are calling immediately a timeout. So I'm gonna take a timeout myself, and I'm going to be back with you in a minute or so. Welcome back to this game where we see Jetset setting up their offense and getting underway. Hopefully it's not going to be a turnout or time over for them. So far, they are moving the disc around pretty effectively and no turnout in sight. Nice movement to this sideline, Van Beek. And Van Beek and Bruns are moving the disc pretty well. Now finally finding some of their cutters. Goes to the backside. Bruns is open. Yeah, the shot is taken. Good idea. Just using their open players so far. Handler space, very quick movement. Yeah, Jetset likes to play really quick. Very good. Oh, now they are getting through the cup and very quick give and go. Lots of passes, a lot of gainers, and now electing to go backwards and all the way across to this sideline. Desmet and her teammate back to Desmet to 94, Janne Van Ecke. Back to Desmet, back to Van Ecke. And yeah, the handlers moving the disc very, very fast. I think East Block are finally setting their zone up, and they are staying in this zone formation until a very, very late point. Basically, until the end. Wow, okay, interesting. Well, East Block have forced Jetset to make a lot of passes. That is for sure. But it looks like Jetset looked so confident with the disc, and they moved this disc around in the handler space very confidently, very quickly, without virtually any problems. So not sure how effective that was. Well, if they wanted to get more passes out of them, definitely was effective. But in terms of stopping them, looks like Jetset is a very, very well drilled team for that. And eventually, Van Ecke and Kromhecke, apologies, are connecting in the end zone for a 3-6 score. So Jetset are doubling up early in this game. And so far, doing pretty well. You hear some cheering from the sidelines. Come on, love. Come on, East Block as well. Maybe East Block are having a little bit less support on the sidelines, despite having a much longer roster. And yes, once again, East Block are coming out and moving short passes, quick pops, and quick movement there. And Jetset are still staying in their zone formation. It was very, very effective for them with that shutting down zone defense. Quick disc movement, now getting maybe a little bit slower as they are getting close to the red zone. Barborikova and Masloviakova. Now finding Hodachova. Hodachova to Zitova. Zitova back to Hodachova. Baborikova back to Hodachova once again. Hodachova is playing one of the central handlers role in this game. At this point, Doležalova finally finds her teammate in the end zone, so that's more like it from East Block. Much calmer point, much easier movement for them. Only hitting the spaces and finally finding the right cuts and the right places to go to without getting the stall count too high, as that's what has happened earlier in the game. And sometimes, yes, the stall count just got too high, and it was a throwaway from East Block side. Looks like we're having another timeout, possibly. Not sure who called it this time. If you do, let me know in the chat. Would be a useful thing for everyone. But yes, we are 4-6 in this game. So as I've mentioned, 3 breaks for Jetset, 3 break advantage They braked on the first point as East Bloc has started on offense, and then they found another break in the very beginning to get us to 2-0, and then another break, I think, in the 8th point of the game. The previous point was scored by Teresa Haveltoa, and yes, assisted by Doležalova, number 34. Jetset now. Let's see what their offense will bring, and let's see if East Bloc are gonna come out with their zone and how long will they stay in that zone formation. Ooh, that is a hand block, amazing. I think that was number 48, Haveltoa. She's coming out to play another point, this time on the defense, and yeah, looks like it was a very good decision as she has managed to get a hand block out of the Jetset side. Whoa, how did that disc get to the East Bloc player? I'm not entirely sure, as there was a Jetset player in front, and this disc, I would probably ask the opposite question. How did it caught by the receiver there, as it was like right in her, right as it was thrown right into her without any defensive pressure. But unfortunately, yes, drops sometimes happen, and sometimes they happen without any reason. Jetset now, once again, an opportunity for a hold, maybe not a clean hold, and a long shot. Yes, she was wide open. A pick is called. It looks like that it will be brought back. I'm not actually sure if that pick is fair. I don't think that anybody was close to the receiver there, closer than 3 meters to that receiver there, because she left early and she was far when anything was called. You're welcome, of course, to go back and rewatch that. You can press on the left arrow button once again if you would like to have a look at that again. But in my opinion, that was not affected at all. And I'm not gonna say any of the proverbs or sayings that people really like to say, but there is a turnover, and East Bloc are gonna start marching the other way. And they actually have a relatively short field, so less than half there. But oh, unfortunate throwaway. That disc was too high for the receiver, and Love gonna try to do that all again. Nice, expensive. Ooh, very nice. Very nice up the line cut, and Jan van Ecke once again um, another assist for her to Charlotte Bruns, number 7 in the end zone, receiving this point. So we are 4-7. We are basically trading holds in the last 4 points, but of course, yes, as I mentioned earlier, East Bloc are 3 breaks down in this game. Let's see if they will be able to claw out any of these points back. And yes, before the previous point, there was a timeout, and it was called, if you're wondering, by East Bloc. So East Bloc trying to refocus and find themselves some space to get some breaks back. That's what they need. But before you break, first you need to hold, and this is going to be their offensive point. So they will send their best offensive players who are ready to play this particular point and see what's going to come out of it. If you're wondering what's going on the other fields, Yaka and Jinx, the first place match is getting underway. No score on that just yet. Field 1, third place matchup. Mooncup, BFD Shout. Mooncup currently down on Shout, 5-7. And Iceni, Box. Iceni, I think, did not win a single game so far. They are up on Box, 6-3 in that game. So good for Iceni. Would be nice for Iceni to get their first win. Possibly the only win of this tournament. As it is the last opportunity for them, unfortunately. I think Box actually did win a game in the pool play. Never a nice thing to go winless from a tournament, but of course we are playing in an elite on an elite level, and sometimes it happens that you go to a tournament, you play your best, and all of the other players are giving their best, and then you do not win a single game. It is of course very sad. But meanwhile, East Block are being successful at holding for this point, so it is now 5-7. A possibility for Jetset to get to a halftime and win the first half. East Block, unsurprisingly, maybe are taking a timeout. They would definitely want to talk about that and try to delay the conclusion of the first half as much as they can, and maybe even turn it into a Galaxy point. That would be exciting, of course, but yes, as I mentioned, they have a 3 breaks deficit to do that, as it's never a good thing to start on the offense and not punch it in. And that's exactly what happened in the beginning of this game. This particular point was scored... not going to tell you just yet. There we go. That particular point was scored by Nella Lepsi and assisted by Aneshka Kotorbova. Nella Lepsi, normally an offensive handler, but actually scored this point in the end zone. And a student from Pilsen, 22 years of age, and played for 9 years already. Wow, very exciting. And played with Fui and with Terrible Monkeys. It's a very nice ultimate CV, of course. Jetset now getting started and moving the other way. Looks like East Block are coming with a person defense this time, and ooh, almost a run through block. I think she was there before the receiver, and yeah, that is a defense and an opportunity for East Block to score their first break. Whatever was discussed in that huddle before this point started clearly worked, as they have earned a very short field to themselves, but you can definitely hear the wind is picking up, and you probably did see the disc jumping in the air a little bit as it is affected by the wind. And yep, East Block coming down with that disc and with that score and with that break. So they got 1 break back. They need another 2 for that. So Marketa Lichocka to Dominika Kurzova for that score. 6-7. If they get another break, they will force a Galaxy point on Jetset, something they would definitely would like to avoid. And yes, there was a timeout, so whatever was discussed in that timeout looks like definitely worked for East Block. I wonder if Jetset are going to take a bit of a timeout themselves to calm themselves down and finish up this first half. No, it doesn't look like it. Looks like they're ready to play and prepared to receive that pull to themselves. 2 timeouts per half, so the only timeout left is on the Jetset side. Yeah, super pull. I hear that. It's hanging very well. Maybe it's not very long, but it's definitely a really nice hang time on that pull, as the defense was virtually set. And East Block generating another turnover from the Jetset side. There was a long shot. Was lots of pressure in the beginning. There was a long shot, but that actually went right into the breadbasket of the defender. So East Block there coming down with a possibility to punch in another break. They're getting really close now, basically on the doorstep now of the point, and the inside break forehand to, was it Lusta? I think it was, yes. Regardless, it was basically on the doorstep, and beautiful shot. Yeah, it was Tlusta, huh? Who just a easy throw to Radka Maslowiakowa for a second break in a row. Exciting stuff. That means that we have a Galaxy point. Very exciting, very cool. Great game. Great pressure. It's good to see that East Block are not giving up. For sure, Jetset are asking questions. How did they blow this kind of lead against a team of that caliber? It was exciting, of course, to get started with 3 breaks to themselves, and now 2 breaks are gone. There is only 1 break advantage. 7-7, Galaxy point. Next point wins the half. Half is at 8. And yeah, we are approximately 40 minutes of game time played. So still plenty of time played, but looks like the second half might actually be a little bit shorter. As you see, the East Block are having their 7 already on the line, and they are ready to play. They are ready to try to get another break in this game, and yeah, I'm excited for sure. Should be a very close game, I think, considering that this is a rematch. Both of these teams are already know each other. They know how to play, and I wonder if I'm actually very curious what East Block are going to do. Are they going to set up a zone? Don't know, because it is quite windy. Are they going to go person to person defense? Because this is what actually worked for them a little bit better in terms of generating the turnover. Well, not every time, but very curious to see what's going to happen. Pool is landing fairly short. They're getting underway. You see wind. Oh, I think there was a bit of an injury there, called by Flor van Dam. They have scored quite a few stats already, and was in the assisting. Sorry, no, on the receiving end of a couple of points already in this game. Fortunate to see that. I hope that she will feel there's nothing too serious, and gonna get back underway for Jetset. Disc is gonna get checked in now. Jetset looking for options. Scholten finally finds one, and East block are looking to get us back on the serve with Hodachoa and that block. The end zone pushes it in. Hodachoa moving that around through the back. Looking for options. Stall count mounting, I'm pretty sure. Hodachoa finally finds that disc. Hodachoa, much calmer now to Hrushakoa. Back to Hodachoa. Mashkova with the disc finds, oh, hammer, a bit of a blade, and Galaxy point break. Oh god. All right, we are back on serve. Interesting. So we should have just started with Jetset receiving the second. Exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Baboriko, Baborikova, sorry, to Hodachoa for that score. It is 8-7. I'm going to be back. Apologies for some second. And don't go anywhere. Stay here for the second half. Welcome back to the second half of this game where we see a long shot into the end zone for Jetset LUV for their first offensive hold of the game. So finally, Jetset are finding their feet again after conceding 3 breaks in a row to East Block to get us into the Galaxy points. And where eventually East Block managed to find another break, their 3rd break in a row, to get us back on serve and to actually win that half. So yes, we are officially back on serve in a way because East Block actually started on offense, but conceded a break in the very first point of the game. But still, East Block, by winning the first half, are bringing us back, yeah, virtually on serve. Where Jetset now are equalizing to 8-8, Ella Kromheke to Silke de la Fortier for an equalizer. Very quick and dynamic point, as you have seen on your screens. I was watching that too. I was just waiting for my devices to get restarted. But yes, exciting stuff. Should be a very close match. The first matchup between these two teams finished at 15-10 in favor of East Block. Looks like this time it is a lot closer, but we never know when one of these teams is going to decide to go on a run. East Block did that slightly in the end of the first half. They went on a 3 breaks run, where Jetset actually just chipped away a break here, a break there, 2 breaks in a row in the first 2 points of the game, and yeah, that should happen. That can happen anytime, and that disc was tipped by Lorevan Hemelrijk. Apologies for my pronunciation. I do not speak Flemish, as Jetset is from Belgium, of course. The local team. The tournament is being played in Belgium, in Leuven. I am unfortunately not in Leuven. I am in Riga, in the comfort of my own apartment, watching some elite level Ultimate, and you can do that too, of course. There are plenty of games being transmitted right now. Today is the finals day. All of the placements are going to happen today, and this is the game for the fifth place in the women's division, where we see East Block after losing the disc and giving an opportunity to Jetset for a break. Jetset actually, just after a couple of throws, are losing that disc again, and East Block picking up again and not losing the opportunity another time. And Christina Tlusta said, enough, I would like that to be a point, and Barborikova has agreed to her and decided to catch that disc in the end zone for a score, 9-8. East Block is up by a point, of course, but we are virtually on serve. Of course, if we're going to continue playing like that, we're going to get to Universe Point, where East Block will have a advantage of offense by virtue of a flip that happened before the game. So that's why we kind of call it on serve. So, Jetset, if they want to win that game, they would need at the very least one break, one defensive break. We'll see if they will manage to get it for themselves. But this time, before you break, first you hold. Jetset are starting their movement here, but oh, North there. Yeah, maybe held on to this disc a little bit too long. The stall count mounted, and the only thing that she could do is just to throw that quite far. And I think Van Beek could not handle that disc. It was very difficult reception for her. So I would count that as a throwaway for North. Very unfortunately, of course. And the East Block now. Opportunity. Ooh, it was a little banging of the knees. And yeah, East Block unfortunately lost the opportunity for a break. That means that Jetset's gonna go back the other way. Lots of winding up. Exciting stuff. Let's see. De Bane with the disc goes to Van Beek. Van Beek to her teammate and into the end zone for an easy pickup score. Very nice. So Van Beek found her teammate first, Kromheke, and then Kromheke to Anna de Bane who was doing that once again and getting another touch in this point. And we are once again on serve, and that is another hold for Jetset, for Jetset LUV. East block, once again, getting us started on their offensive point. Moving around well. Now a little bit static on that far sideline. Yeah, getting trapped on that far sideline. And, ooh, good shot. Very nice. Kurzawa with the disc, and Kurzawa and her teammate unfortunately can't really. There we go. And Lepsi were playing a bit of a 1-2. Now disc is in the middle, but looks like there are no real options, and finally finds one. Good reset to Kotroboa, who had to chase that disc and readjust a little bit. Kotroboa finds the middle with Lepsi. Lepsi to that near side line, has a reset behind, two actually resets behind. Does well Lichocka there. Moves around, surveying her option, and Lichocka, unfortunate throwaway. That was a little bit too hard for her teammate, too far for her teammate, I must say. And she actually, I think, had an easier reset in form of Kurzawa behind, and looks like Jetset once again calling another timeout. Maybe that short roster is playing a little bit against them and needing a bit of a rest over here. 17 players only on that Jetset roster, and 23 players on East Block's roster, so almost a full line advantage, almost a full line pressure, so to say. East Block ladies are a women's division, 5th and 6th place. Jetset are looking at an opportunity for a break, and I think that's why they have elected to call a timeout over here, as they would definitely want to get the advantage back. They had a 3-break advantage and they've lost it all, fortunately for them, but good for the neutrals like me at home, who just won some beautiful, amazing, incredible ultimate and close games. The finals are underway. Of course, you're welcome to watch them, but maybe stay with this game and watch this game first, and then watch the second, the business end of the finals, the more exciting one, of course, the more emotional one. So jumped into these emotions, into some more emotions of the finals. But in the other games, the game for the 3rd place, Moon Cup PFD Shout, 9-9 locked in. Is Block Jetset, as you know, of course, 9-9 as well, locked in. 2 exciting games, very close games, so 3rd and 5th place, very nice. Iceni and Box, Iceni still up, so still looking at that first win in this tournament. And Yaka Jinx, the first game matchup, only been on for half an hour. Very slow moving game, only 5 points in this game. I'm not going to tell you what the score is. You can always watch that on the live scoring at eucs-schedule.ultimatefederation.eu. It's all there, all of the rosters, all of the information, all of the exciting stats and other things. Back to this game, LUV, Jetset LUV getting underway, looking at an opportunity for a break, possibly a first break of the second half. Are they going to be good with it? Are they going to manage to find it? Let's see. Far sideline now. The disc very closely marked. Looks like it's a trap. Finally finds the cutter. Finally finds some space, but an unfortunate knock off the hand of the receiver, and that disc is back with East block, and looks like, yeah, it looks like Hadoa started going into the end zone, maybe was baiting a little bit her defender and going a little bit slower and a little bit faster, but never actually kind of changed direction, always went into that end zone, and her teammate finally found her over there with a long shot. So just Haveltoa picked the disc up, seen her teammate Hadoa in the end zone and decided, well, that worked before, why not this time? And it did work once again. So we are still on serve. 6 breaks in this game, 3 apiece. 10-9 is the score. And East Block are slightly up on their opponents. Let's see, who scored the 10th point in the third place match? Shout. Okay, 10-9 there as well. We've got approximately, what, 25 minutes? No, 15 minutes of the game time left. If I'm not mistaken, even the placement games are 80 minutes long. Our schedule is virtually unchanged, and not sure if the finals are longer or not. They could be. Sometimes there is a bit more time to play in the finals, and games are a little longer just to get it more excited. Oh, a run through block there, great awareness for East block for Hodachawa, and she gives an opportunity, a golden opportunity actually, to score a break in the second half. So this time advantage East block. Jetset LUV started the first half and the game itself on a very hot streak, but this time East block are drawing the first defensive blood, so to say, and yeah, getting that first break to themselves. Babarikoa to Mashkoa in the end zone, and the block was by Alžbeta Hodačová. Jetset, possibly gonna talk about that. No timeout is called just yet, but I'm sure that they would not be very happy about it, unsurprisingly. Apologies about some camera movement. It is a little bit windy, as you can see by the flags in the background. And East Block are gonna come out once again on that defense, and Jetset are going to be looking once again to get a clean hold to themselves to try to get this break back, because to break, first you need to hold. Floor Van Dam and teammate moving that around. Ooh, nice gainer. Very nice gainer. Van Beek is the disc. An author of a few points already for the Jetset. Finally finds a reset over here. Van Ecke Scholten all the way on the other sideline. Scholten with the disc, surveying her options. Needs to elect to go back. Bit of a 1-2 with her, with Van Dam. Oh, nice, 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 nice throw to Van Beek. Van Beek and Van Ecke. Moving that around, keeping the disc alive. Nice and patient. That's a great point for Jetset there, but only handlers are getting involved mostly. Maybe not the most exciting point for if you're a cutter, but sometimes that is it is what it is, as especially when playing against the zone. So handlers should just keep moving, and cutters should not get frustrated and think that they're ignored for whatever reason. They are not. It's just much harder to get the disc into the deeper spaces and to put the longer throws, as very often zones are being played in the windy conditions. The discs can hang a little bit longer or fall a little bit faster, so it's a lot harder to get these discs into the longer receivers or receivers in the deeper spaces. So yes, good patience, of course, by the cutters of Jetset, and great awareness and great composure by their handlers. Van Beek, Esther Van Beek to Charlotte Bruns for the score. We are 11-10, and advantage east block, so to say, one break advantage. Jetset, as they have punched the offensive hold, they now have an opportunity for a break. Let's see if their defense will get something cooking and if they're gonna come out once again with the zone. Looks like both of these teams. No, I think Jetset actually consistently played zone defense, while East Block were actually rotating between zone and personal defense. But Jetset consistently played the zone, and it did bear some fruits for them in the first half. Let's see if it will actually happen in the second half once as well. Shvetsova with the disc goes to Lichocka. Lichocka finally finds Hrushakova, who might get trapped on that sideline, but that doesn't happen. Hrushakova, great reception, moves to the side to Lepshi. No, sorry, that was Shvetsova once again. Shvetsova with the disc, difficult grab, quite high. Lichocka is the disc, goes to all the way once again to Lichocka. Lichocka finds that disc again from her teammate. Oh, and that was misreleased. Unfortunately for Hadova, Hadova could not react to that very low falling disc, and hard reception over there. And then throwaway by Jetset. I think Jetset are not gonna be happy about that, as they had an opportunity for a break, and they threw it away quite literally. Hrushakova with the disc, still count getting high, activating her resets. Handlers are working pretty well at the back at the moment. Lichocka to Kotrboa. Kotrboa throwing a blade into the end zone for, I think it was Shvetsova, for another hold. So the teams are, yes, it was Kotrboa to Shvetsova. Yeah, so 12-10. We have approximately 7 minutes of game time left, as it is game to 80 minutes, and we are playing the soft cap rules. So we will add 1 to the highest score and play to that so-called target. So if it will be 13-10, for example, in the next point, and the point will be finished, and it will be 13-11. We are going to play to add 1 to the highest score, which in our case would be 13, and a hypothetical case first. And we will play a game to 14, regardless of the time limits. Whichever reaches 14 points first would be the eventual winners. But so far, the score in this game is 12-10. We are not in this situation just yet. Looks like we are in a timeout situation. Looks like both of the teams are utilizing their timeouts quite effectively, efficiently, and they are actually utilizing that. I think the previous game um, that I was commentating on, which was Tartu and Manshot in the mixed division, I think there were 0 timeouts in the whole game. So they just decided not to and just decided to continue playing, which eventually was better for Tartu Turbulence, who who finally found their first win. Manshot are not finding any wins in this tournament just yet, so very, very unfortunate for them. Quite a difficult situation, of course, for anyone and any team to be in that kind of a hole of losing 5 games in a row, while coming probably being quite hopeful um, in this tournament as the eventual invitees of the Elite Invite tournament. Jetset starting to move the disc around, looking for that hold to try to get the break back. But yeah, before you break, first you need to hold. And let's see if they can do that. De La Fortier with the disc, finds her teammate, Van Damme. Very quick movement now, almost in the red zone. Van Beek goes to Van Ecke. Van Ecke finally finds the options. And a long shot into the end zone. Can she hold on to it? Yes, she can. Very nice. Beautiful cross-field shot. A little bit blady maybe, but perfectly weighed for the score over there. And let me credit, of course, the receiver there, as it is, of course, credit where the credit is due. For Jetset, the score is now 12-11. We still have East Block's advantage by 1 break. It's a close game, that is for sure. And yes, it was Hilke Hermans, number 32, to Hilke de la Fortier for that score. Beautiful, beautiful shot that was from Hermans. I think she's actually getting her first stat in this game. Very likely. And East Block, quick response, not fussed about that at all. Just deciding to punch that one in for a hold of their own. And for Hilke, I was actually very curious. Hilke Hermans. Yes, it was actually her first stat of the tournament. Nice. So that is assist. So she played 5 games. It is her, I think, 5th game? No, 6th game, obviously. And yeah, it is her first stat on the board. Nice. I think almost everyone in Jetset has at least 1 stat. So the only person that I see without a stat is Roelien Piron. I'm not sure if she's playing. She might be injured. I'm not sure. I don't remember her being in the field, to be honest, but maybe she's a support player. And I see that she is only credited for 4 games. Unfortunately, have no stats. I wonder why. If I can find some information. She has played since 2006. Oh my god. And she is also a Thai boxer. You do not want to mess with that person, that is for sure. But yes, very cool to have her. Also, Grandmasters territory. So maybe not jumping onto the points as often as she was wont or as she has before. And yeah, she has lots of experience. Exciting, very exciting. Um, anyway, yeah, East Block, as I've mentioned, has responded very quickly. Hadova, 2 points in a row, another break from Zhitova, and oh, sorry, yes. Now you see that it's the 2nd point in a row for Hadova. Hadova scored the previous offensive point and a hold from Kotrboa. And this time, Hadova also scoring from Zhitova. Zitova. Not sure if it's Zhitova or Zitova. Tell me in the chats how to pronounce that correctly. I would be more than happy to correct myself. We are almost in the cap situation as we only have a few seconds of the game time left, but it actually doesn't matter because it's going to be game to 15 regardless of the time, because one of the teams actually got to 14-11 situation. Every point counts for any of these teams. Of course, as you know, with the new ranking systems and all of these shenanigans, which you can always find out a little bit more from the show hosted by one of our commentators and one of the committee members of the Ultimate Federation, Ravi Vasudevan. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a very exciting day because all of these games and all of these results are going to be fed to the algorithm, and we will see what kind of standings it's going to spit out for us. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be interesting to try to break down all of that and all of the results from the top 8 teams from the last year, except a few that are not playing in their divisions anymore. I've mentioned Krut in the previous game. Yes, they were a mixed team, but they are now focused on open and women's, and their spot was actually given to the next highest team that was interested to come and play in the elite invite. Jetset are going to pick up and try to find a hold and a couple of breaks as they are finding themselves a little bit down on their opponent. I actually tried to also put these two teams through the algorithm and to see what kind of score it would spit out to me, but it did not spit out any score because East Block do not have any ranked games yet. They will have 6 ranked games, of course, after this tournament. And it is possible that the last particular one, this one, would be a win because they have managed to generate a turnover out of the Jetset side. And they are looking to finish. Oop! Is it going to be picked up? No, no bid is coming as well. That was maybe a little bit too far and a little too high. Great defensive awareness there by Jetset. I'd love to know who that was and to credit that player with a nice defensive play. Number 59, Ella Kromheke. Yeah, she's been doing it on offense and on the defensive side for this Jetset team. She might actually be one of the top scorers and have Oh yeah, she is actually the stats leader, Ella Kromheke. 11 assists and 9 goals. And whatever, whichever unspecified amount that actually the amount of stats that she had in this game, which was actually 4, so 24 points to her name. Really good. Oh, very close. Let's see. Ooh, was that captain? I think it was. Yeah, nice. So Jetset still knocking on the doorstep and looking at a hold. Is that gonna get? No, that is overthrown. That was a little too hot from the thrower there into the end zone. So East block, all they need to do now is work the whole field to the other way, score a point, and they will get the 5th place in this tournament, in this elite invite tournament. So far, looks good. Is that in the end zone? No, just shy of the end zone. Getting close, looks to be a bit tired, and finally pushes it in and punches that goal in. So East Block are your eventual 5th place winners. Alžbeta Hodacova to Teresa Havelchova for that with that winning goal. We've got, let me update you very quickly on the rest of the games. BFD Shout Moon Cup, it was 9-9, remember? And then it was 10-9 to BFD Shout, and now it's 14-9 to BFD Shout. That's been a run for sure. Very sad for Moon Cup to see that being over in that kind of fashion. And Iceni are looking at actually their first win. So it is 11-7 at the moment, advantage Iceni. Yaka Jinx, the finals. Go watch it now if you want, or you can stay on this field and watch another 5th place matchup between Wall City and BFD Lafota. Oh, this one is going to be exciting, just as exciting. And as we see, we have a bit of a visitor on our camera. We see the teams are finishing up. So thank you very much for listening. Next up, we're going to bring you games from Open Division. Field 1 is going to be Clapham, Chevron Action Flash, game for the 3rd place. Lorcan Murray is going to be there. Then we're going to have Wall City BFD Lafota on this field. With me, I will say on this field, and on the field 4, no commentary. Jetset Open Alba. This is going to be the game for the 7th and 8th place. A little bit later, approximately 1 hour later, we also going to start the finals of Mooncatchers against Gentle, the Belgian showdown. Clapham is not in the finals. Isn't that exciting? All right, don't go anywhere. I'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you for listening, and stay here for the 5th place matchup in the Open Division.